Thank you for tuning in to Get This Live with Lady May, and I'm your host, Lady May. Tonight's going to be an incredible show, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I have the cast here of a show that's called The Wilsons, which is a sitcom that you can watch on YouTube.
Got you now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow your roll, Tootsie Roll. All right? You're not going to have none of the attitude that you was giving us downstairs, all right? Up in here, up in here. And don't do drugs, and don't smoke cigarettes, don't become a stripper, and keep hope alive. Yes, we can, all right? That's what you do. Keep hope alive. Girl, the only one that you need to connect with is Jesus. Because I tell you, Jesus is the only one that is going to set you free. You don't need no charge. Connect with Jesus, baby. That's who you connect.
I think you have
Jesus.
I actually had the pleasure of coming across this wonderful group of people through a mutual friend who introduced me by saying there was a play that was coming up that she wanted me to attend. And so I looked at it, and she began to explain to me how the show was about this family and their everyday life, something similar to the Huxtables, but on our level. And so what we decided to do was to reach out to them. And when I spoke to the director, Linda and I began to talk about her show and her dreams, her desires, and her goals. And she told me her show was on YouTube. So those of you who know me knew while she was talking, I was on the phone, and I'm looking, and I'm going through YouTube, and I'm watching it. And I tell you, you have to tune in to YouTube and watch The Wilsons for yourself. It's an incredible, incredible, incredible show. So I'm honored to present to you the writer, the creator, the director, the producer, the HNIC, Miss Linda. Thank you, sister, for being here. And so we have the entire cast of the Wilsons here. And the Wilsons consist of a mother, a father, with two girls, two boys, two girls, two boys.
Two boys, two girls.
Two girls, two boys. Why it can't be two boys, two girls? Why it gotta be two girls, two boys?
I said two boys, two girls.
Oh, two boys, two girls. And with the mothers, the in-laws, and we have a brother that's involved. And this is gonna be a really great show. So again, thank you all for tuning in. I got a problem with you. Why you just say two boys, two girls? Or did you say two girls, two boys?
I said two boys, two girls.
Two boys, two girls.
You said two girls, two boys.
Ladies first, two girls, two boys.
Okay.
So what we're doing is I wanted to give you the opportunity to meet them because so often here on Long Island, we have some phenomenal talent on Long Island. And people just don't have that platform. They don't have that opportunity where they can go and show who they are, what their abilities are. And sometimes it's a matter of who you know or what you know. And I wanted to give them an opportunity to show you what's here on Long Island. You don't always have to travel to New York City to pay the $16 toll. You don't always have to travel to pay the $35 parking. You go right here in your own backyard and see the Wilsons. So, Linda, thank you so much, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me about the show. Tell us.
Well, the Wilsons, they're your average, everyday family. They're a Christian family. They just, go through the same things that normal families go through, But at the end of the day, we know who we are and we know whose we are. And I think that's a little different.
Introduce your cast to us.
Okay, we have the mom, Josette here, Mrs. Wilson. The father, Mr. Wilson, Reggie. We have the children. We'll go with the children. The youngest over here is Chloe. Her real name is Joy, my former kindergarten student. Then we have back here, we have Xavier. This is his character name is Jared. Then we have Steven, and his real name is Jai. This is a new character that is coming into the cast. This is John Clark. He is going to be the long-lost son of Mr. Wilson's brother, Uncle Terrence, as we call him, which is right here.
The matching yellow guy.
George Berry. I'm sorry. Brother George Berry, and he is Uncle Terrence, and he is very funny. We also have, in this episode, a new character coming in. We have Grandma Josie, who is coming to visit, and she's played by Barbara McDougal.
Wow. You better not miss
We
her.
have a very sassy and spicy neighbor. We call her Nosy Nora, and she is right here, Elder Exie Smith.
So I want to thank you all again for joining us. When I watched the show online, I realized how well you guys vibed. It's like you all grew up together. Like, it's almost like you're actually a real family. Where do you all know each other from? Where do you know each other from?
Well, he and I probably know each other from the soup kitchen.
Okay.
You know,
What soup kitchen?
That's the soup kitchen in Wine Edge. You know, that's where he's usually at. So I discovered him one day. On Straight Path. So I said to him, maybe you should come to Hollywood Baptist Church, and we can clean you up a little bit. So
Okay.
So here he is. So
Okay.
the rest of them, Nosy Nora, Elder Exie House. She's actually my neighbor.
Wow.
And the other kids are from the church as well.
Okay, and for the record, we're filming live from Hollywood Baptist Church, 3540 Great Neck Road in Amityville. The awesome, incredible, anointed Bishop Andy C. Luter. Yes. Yes. And so we in the Hollywood. And I'm not talking about CA. I'm talking about Amityville.
That's right.
And so we're here. We're still live. And so thank you so much for being here. So when you say you met him at the soup kitchen,
yes.
Was he serving or was he online?
He was actually on the corner.
He was on the corner.
Yes, he was on the corner. So, we cleaned him up. He looks nice cleaned up, right?
Well, I'm going to cut in to say that. A lot of the cast members I know from churches, from various churches. Some are my neighbors and friends. From word of mouth, Joy was a kindergarten teacher, who was a kindergarten student in my class. Her godmother, this is her godmother, Josette, who came into my classroom once, and then I was saying, I want to do something with the Wilsons, and my friend Edie says, Diva, and they kept calling her Diva. Says Diva. Says, who is Diva? Diva. And that's what they call her because she has such a phenomenal voice. So Diva came on, and we've been filming this for over a year. So a lot of us have been together for over a year. So that's why we gel together a lot. A lot of the new cast members have just come on the last couple of months. Say in January, July. We just started rehearsing for the show in July, but a lot of us have been together for over a year.
That's incredible. Episodes. Because when I watch you all, again, like I said, it seems like you're really just a family. Now, when I watched it, the first thing I noticed was Josette. And I was telling her, girl, your face was beat on that show. And for women, that's an issue. Sometimes you go on and you look and you're like, oh my God, her hair needs to be done. Oh my God, her face needs to be done. But she was the total package for what you're looking for in a woman. And I salute you for that. Because sometimes, again, we watch TV, and the African American family, in my opinion, sometimes we're not portrayed the way we should be, and we're not represented the way we should be. Either when you turn into television, they have us way up there, where people don't believe we can be a lawyer, or people don't believe that we can be a doctor and be successful. And I'm just talking in African-American communities in general. Or they have us where we're hoes, we're pimps, we're drug dealers. There's no happy medium, for the lack of a better term. There's no happy medium where people can relate to that's somebody that I saw at the beauty supply store, or that's somebody I saw in the supermarket. It's always, how can I get to be a Claire Huxtable? Or some people can't relate to Claire Huxtable because they don't live in a Claire Huxtable or the Huxtables neighborhood, even though that show is filmed in Brooklyn and portrayed to be in Brooklyn. You still don't see that in a lot of cases. And I don't want to, I'm not knocking anybody or anything, but it's just kind of a reality in our world. And again, when it comes to the African American community, people look at our children, and all they see are kids with the pants down, with their hands down, or baby mama drama, or stuff like that. And so when I watched you all, the first thing I thought was, wow, that's an everyday family, a for real everyday family. And I just thought it was just so incredible. Now, I loved you, but you were my favorite because you're brothers. On the show, you're brothers. And one of my episodes that I learned was that when I saw you, I was watching you all, And one of my favorite episodes, the two of you were actually rapping. You remember that episode? Yeah. Do you rap for real? Are you a rapper?
No, I'm not a rapper.
Ever tried to be a rapper?
I'm a good Christmas present rapper. I don't rap like that, but
So is that your way of saying you're looking for a wife? Because you know we got viewers that's looking for husbands. So is that your way of saying?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You better. I'm gonna give you 10. Look, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Go for it. 10 seconds.
what do you want to say?
Say what you need to say. If there's a woman that's watching, it's like, and she saw me and she's like, oh my God, who is that? I want to get with him. Are you available?
I am available.
Okay, then you need to talk.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am available.
No. Ladies, no gentlemen.
Gentlemen? Niggas can't be choosing.
No, seriously. Listen, when Linda approached me, right? Because I've been on the stage all my life. I've been acting. I got a natural talent for act. I love to act. So when she came and she put me in play, I was just honored because I always wondered with my acting ability, no one never picked me up. And I was like, I don't know how to navigate myself through the field. And she's giving me the platform. So ladies, yes, a brother is single. And I'm a jack of all trades. I won't milk you for your money like them other brothers that will milk you for your money and then you'll turn around and be broke. No, I'll take a light bulb out, I'll fix a car, I could build a house. I can also sit in the office and write out some information. I'm a jack of all trades. A brother just need a job though. That's all I'm saying. Get a job.
Well, and he likes to eat.
Oh, he loves
Oh, I love to eat. What are you kidding me?
He probably got a sandwich on him right now. I wouldn't doubt it.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, so he's going in the pocket. What you got?
See, I told you.
We gonna eat today. I don't play. We
I told
gonna
you.
eat. Check this out. In the play, I meet my son after 17 years, and I told him, brother man, whatever you need, I got you. So I brought my son a sandwich too.
You don't have a job, but you realize that women may have an issue with an unemployed brother.
Just kidding. I got a job. I'm self-employed. I got a landscaping business. All right. I started it from the ground up. I wasn't lying when I was talking about a jack of all trades. I used to be a medical assistant, a phlebotomist. I now coach lacrosse. I'm the head coach of the City College of New York men's lacrosse team. I also go into the public housings in a different borough every day to teach kids a sport that saved my life called lacrosse. I'm teaching kids that were not privileged to learn that sport. They are able to learn it now through New York City Housing. I go to a different borough every day, and I love it. Come on now, 90% of people in the job market are usually working at a job that they really don't like. True. But I'm doing a job that I love to do, and I would do it for free.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And can I tell you, we salute any man. We salute any man, period, regardless to what your state in life is. But I think it's important because, again, it goes back to the fact that when people watch African Americans, we're not portrayed as we really are. I think the only person that's really probably accurately representing us in a way that we should be represented at this point is probably Tyler Perry. I think he's probably the only one that's really putting it, and again, I guess it's the social class that I'm more addressing. And I think he's the one that's really doing it. And so I salute you for just being a man, period, that's handling your business, that's doing what you're supposed to do. Definitely. Definitely, because so many times people say that a good man is hard to find. And I'm right here on Long Island, and I think I found 2 so far. Ladies, wait, are you married?
No.
You're not married? Hold that thought. So for real though?
Excuse me, honey. Excuse me.
Look. You can have him back in a few minutes. So for real, you're not married? No. You have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how many children you have?
I have 2.
You sweating? Am I making you hot?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I just made it worse. I just made it worse.
For just these type
yeah,
of occasions.
just these checks. Okay. All right. So all right. So you're working. You have children. Tell
Yes.
me about yourself.
Well, I attend.
And this isn't part. I'm sorry. This isn't part of the plan. So we're always saying there's no good men out there, right? So we found one. Here goes number 2. All right. So tell me about you.
Well, about me, I attend the church that we're in, Hollywood Full Gospel Cathedral. I actually run the media ministry here, and we actually have a program that we show also on Cablevision on Friday mornings at 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
as well.
What's the name of your show?
It's called New Life, the name of the program, and obviously we record our services for all the world to see, and we're also on the internet as well. Just in March, I finished school. I went to Apex Tech, and I became an air conditioning refrigeration mechanic.
Wow.
Which was a different thing for me because I've always been in the business field.
Okay.
I was a stockbroker for 12 years, and I was a mortgage broker for 8. So this was a change now from wearing boots, or actually from wearing suits to wearing boots now.
Great.
So now I'm doing
Great.
more with my hands. But it's been a very good experience, and I'm happy with the way my life is going.
Wow, that's great. Linda, you have great people that you're surrounded with.
Yes,
God has blessed you with
yes,
with a really great cast.
Yes.
And how did you find them?
Well, I found them in different ways. I found my friend here, Barbara McDougal, through Edie. There's a common friend, Edie. She's my neighbor.
Okay.
Joy's mom. She goes to Family Life Worship Cathedral, and I've been working with her. I've known her since she was on our block. So that's her best friend, her goddaughter. Then a very good friend of hers, Barbara McDougal. I was looking to add a grandma to my show, and I said I was looking for a character, and I was sitting in the car one day, and she handed me her CD. Says, "Oh, she has a CD." She played a song called "Can I Talk to You?" I said, I heard that song being in the show, and right there I called her on the phone wherever she was. I know where she was. I called her. I said, I need you to be in my show. And I called her right there. We were in the parking lot of Costco, and I called her on the phone, and she said yes. So, and my friend here, Elda Exie, I call her. She's a very good friend also. I saw her do one skit in the show. We have a drama ministry here at our church.
Okay.
So a lot of the actors who are from my church have been acting upstairs, during services times. So I saw Exie do a little commercial, and I said, "Nosy Nora," and it just dropped in my spirit. Nosy Nora, that is her. That is her. And I didn't want anyone else except her to do that because I wanted the true church lady to do that role.
Wow.
And she does a marvelous job.
She does a phenomenal job. She does.
And just as far
I would
as
like to say also
Yes.
that since I've been with the cast and our director, Linda Taylor, Elder Linda Taylor, she is an outstanding woman of God.
Yes.
She's very quiet, conservative, but she gets the job done. I thank God for her vision. I thank God that she chose me. And Linda, not knowing that I have been in a play at Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church called Slabtown Convention. And my mother put me into that, and we was almost headed to Broadway. But 2 people passed, and we didn't get to that area. But I thank God for dwelling within me, because what's in me comes out of me. And when Linda saw me in the church doing that skit, and when she approached me, I just smiled and said yes, because I could not turn her down, because when you are a child of God, you don't turn anybody down. Glory be to God, because God will fix it every time. And I'm just so grateful for that, especially when I have, as a child, I was raised up and was born in Montgomery, Alabama.
And I was too.
In the Jim Crow.
Wow.
Wow.
Really?
Isn't that something? In the Jim Crow law. And a lot of things that occurred, I didn't understand. But having a Christian family, Mom had to explain certain things to me that nobody was better than I. God didn't make no junk because we're all somebody.
Well,
Glory be to God.
Well,
hallelujah. Well,
And I'm so glad of that because I was able to hold back and I kept my mind on Jesus, and I graduated from Alabama State University. And when I came to New York, I came to find a teaching position, but they told me that I needed 14 credits to fulfill the obligation here in New York. So I said, oh no, they don't know me. So I went over to Hofstra University, and I enrolled in Hofstra, so I have my master from Hofstra University. Glory be to God. And I didn't stop that. I got a job as a teaching position in Dix Hill. So I taught over 25 years in Dix Hill. And then while I was teaching, I also went to New York Theological Seminary and received my Master of Divinity. Isn't God good?
Hallelujah.
Good God.
Miss C, I wanted the true church lady.
That's right. You wanted the real.
I'm about to ask her to give the
You know,
benediction.
or receive the offering. About to make me reach down in my bosom and give her some tithe and offering. But you know what? And the thing is, you could tell that she's real.
Yes.
This what we're experiencing right now. This isn't for the cameras. This isn't a put on. This isn't, oh my God. You could tell she's real. This is who she is. When she's in the parking lot, if she's in the car, if she's brushing her teeth, you can tell that this is who she is. Miss Exie, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned about growing up in Montgomery, Alabama. My mom is actually from Alabama as well. Wow. So I can relate to, yes, okay. Yeah, so I can relate. And so you mentioned the Jim Crow law, but let me ask you this. How do you feel growing up in the Jim Crow law and now the day that I know if you were anything like my mom, you never thought you would see the day of a black president?
You know, it's amazing. Thank you for asking that question because as a teacher, I would always put writings on my wall. Love one another, get along, respect yourself, and then respect others. But on the other side of my wall, because I had the largest class in the classroom, and I had all the presidents. So I had to let my kids, that was the 12th graders that I taught, and I would say, look at the wall of all the presidents that you see on that wall. Do you see anybody my color? And they said, no. I said, now let me say this to you. It's not that we aren't smart. It isn't that we don't know. It isn't that we can't apply ourselves and bring it back to our remembrance. I said, but let me tell you, one day, God is going to send a man my color, and I'm going to put him in the center of all of those Caucasians. I said, and we're going to rejoice, and I had to do that because I am rejoicing today. We voted, but God put Barack Obama into the White House. Glory be to God.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around.
Well, I ain't. I'm telling you. And so it's just great because I know when I saw it, and Joy and the other fellas that are behind me, I know you guys are like, okay, so what's that's all about? Because you really don't realize the era that you're living in. To you, it's probably not even a big deal. What do you think about President Obama?
Actually, he is actually one of my favorite presidents because when you look at all his presidents, they're not really our colors, but God has gave him a chance to come into our lives. And
And it's really great because you know what? Sometimes when you look at BET and you look at the music channels, our children they're not represented well. And the idols and the people that are put before them, you have to show a lot of cleavage. You have to show a lot of booty. You got to have a lot of bling, all this other stuff before you can really be respected. Right. And so for her to say, I have an example, I think that's just really, really great. Fellas, tell me, what do you think about President Obama?
Well, he certainly knows how to speak up for himself and all those who need help, especially for those like in the middle class. Because everything that he says is basically true, and it's definitely going to take a while to repair all the damage that has been done in the past.
Yes.
It'll take a long time. But see, what's right is what's right, and it's gonna happen eventually. We
Okay.
just have to be strong and power on through.
That's true. Very true.
My son's going to be the next president. Go.
Great. Great. How old are you?
I am 7.
You're 7. How old are you, Joy? 9. And you?
I'm 18.
You're 18. And behind me?
I'm
11. And so we have some great articulate young people.
Yes, we do.
And I salute them because we, again, want to give everybody the opportunity to be seen and to be well represented. And for them to say, to even know, they have knowledge of politics. When I was 8, when I was 7, when I was 11, I don't know anything about politics. That was none of my business. That was none of my concern. Give me some double Dutch and an ice pop, and I was good, you know. And so I think this is really great. That's why I wanted to include the children in with this interview. A lot of times, the children are tossed to the side, and we don't really want to pay attention to them, not realizing that they have a voice too, and not realizing that one day we're going to be in senior citizens' homes, and one day somebody's going to have to drive us, and one day somebody's going to have to put our teeth in our mouth and the oxygen tank. So, you know, that some that might come.
That's right.
But you never know what our future holds. But, you know, to think that we have young people that are articulate. Yes. Not everybody is out there robbing. Not everybody's out there stealing. So we have some articulate. And that's why I wanted to include them. I don't want them to feel like they're just, you know, out there and they're being left out. They need to know that they're just as important as the writer. They're just as important as the dad. You're just as important, and we need you all. So, again, I thank you so much. And I'm not trying to be funny, but is Joy a diva or is she a diva? Leg is closed.
That's why she's
Look at the way.
and that is why she's my God.
Right.
Ever since kindergarten, I had her, and that's how she was. Very well spoken, and as you can see, they're very well spoken. I know their families, I know their parents, and I've spoken with them, and they were handpicked to be children in this show, because this is what I wanted to portray in the show. I wanted to portray children who are not yelling and cursing, you know, up a storm, and not having their pants hanging low. I wanted to know that there are Christian families out there who pay attention to their children, who rear them in a Christian home, who rear them to have good Christian values. I wanted that to be known, and I want that to be, you know, shown on the stage and in the sitcom.
Okay, so there is one character that is missing, that you mentioned that, and her name is Phaedric McDowell.
Yes.
Okay, and so she was unable to be here. But I noticed that in your show, that there's no cursing.
Oh, no.
You don't have the neck rolling. Well, wait, you do have the neck rolling.
We have it a little bit.
Somebody did a neck rolling one time.
She the only one that's allowed to
do the
neck
neck
roll.
roll. I remember because in the show, your daughter went out, and she came home, and she was talking, and she got a little sassy with you, and you were at the counter, and you were talking, and you made me laugh because you was like, hold up. You know, and it was so funny because I remember a lot of times when we were on television, you know, I don't know about you all, but when I watch television, a lot of times when they talk about families, I often thinking about my upbringing. My mom was quick to throw an iron, quick to throw a shoe, quick to throw a whatever. And then, you gonna call who? You gonna call what? And in my day, there was no such thing as CPS. We didn't know what CPS was. We didn't know what child abuse was. We didn't know any of that stuff. Because my mother's thing was, this is my house. I pay the bills. You follow my rules, or you can get out. And my mom, you know, I remember one time I went out, right? I went out with some friends. My mother told me be home by 10. Well, back in then, of course, you know, when you go out, 10 o'clock, things are just really starting to happen. Right, don't start till 10. But I was 17 years old, so for my mom to say to be home at 10, at that time it was reasonable, but in my eyesight it wasn't. Can I tell you, when I came home, it was storming outside. My mother had locked the door, and her bedroom window was right there. And I went to go put the key in the door, and my mother was like, put the key in the door, and I'm going to bust your skull open. My mother made me sit outside the entire night to teach me a lesson. Don't come in my house after 10 o'clock. So often we see the news, and we see children getting involved in situations or events that it shouldn't be involved in. That happens after a certain time. And the first thing I'm thinking is, well, where was their mother? Or why were they out that time of night anyway?